and welcome back to In the Bathroom. We're finally back to our normal format instead of all the random formats we've been testing to try hopefully get sponsors, because our normal format is kind of anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish, anti-homophobic, anti-Israel. Wait, anti-homophobic. Does it mean homophobic?
No,
Anyway,
pro.
pro-homophobic. My bad. But anyway, yeah. Bathroom. Why do I always almost call you tragic?
I think it's because you see yourself in me, and so
We're
you.
Siamese twins, so that might be why. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, we're actually conjoined twins. We were never separated.
That's why I said
Yeah.
Siamese.
Oh, is that? Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah,
That's the
same
one
thing.
Ben Carson did, right?
Yeah, because I think someone called Siam or something came up with it. Anyway, bathroom. What's today's soap of the day? As you're actually in the bathroom.
Well, I would love to tell you there's a soap of the day, but my soap insurance was canceled, so I can't
So,
afford soap. Oh shit! What
so
are you doing with that?
your soap insurance has been canceled. You say? We're the CEO of soap, but I think it's pretty obvious to the audience if you live within America or honestly any country. But do you think other
Any country.
country? Do you think any country, other country, like, oh yeah, they have assassinations now too? Bet. Finally, about time they got cultured.
Yeah, it's actually in the country I'm currently living in, I literally heard somebody say America's making assassinations great again. So,
Oh my god. I mean, it's kind of interesting.
and,
Trump becomes president. He faces two assassination attempts, and then the United CEO, like, I think that the resurgence in assassination, they're like the industry dusting off. It's like, well, just like crypto winter's over, assassination summer's begun.
assassination, yeah, crypto winter's over, assassinations summer, and I think there could be a correlation between those two, but I think that's for another
Do you think assassinations
topic.
happen more?
So,
Wait, hold on. Do you think assassinations happen more in winter because there's less people around,
I think when it's
and
cold,
then people are bundled up too? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but when it's cold, seasonal depression kicks in, and you just kind of want to let loose.
Well, hold on. We're thinking about reasons for killing, like, oh, you're like more bottled in. But I think when it comes to a like a logistical standpoint, like from as a unconsensual euthanasia specialist, I thoroughly think that you know it's easier to do assassination in the winter because you're already bundled up. You have a reason to look suspicious because you don't look suspicious. Everyone's bundled up.
True, yeah. I mean, if that were the case, wouldn't the best time to do assassinations be during the pandemic? Everyone was wearing a mask, so
Well, that's harder because you have to deal with both the concept of availability as well as the concept of inconspicuousness and as well as escape.
true. Yeah, people would be outside, and well, people wouldn't be outside. Like targets would be more,
Okay,
they'd have a higher rate of being home and shit. So yeah,
so
I guess you're right.
as our long interlog probably lets you all know, we are talking about Luigi Mangione, who is from a part of. It looks like he's from Penn State or UPenn. I don't know what they are. He's from Penn State, Ivy League school. He's Italian. Apparently, women are lusting over him as usual. They do with all the greatest killers. He's from. I think apparently he went to a place called Towson, Maryland, Loyola ish. Oh no. Oh, okay, Towson. Loyola was like a place, and then
Huh. What a great house and alumni.
well, isn't he more of a UPenn alumni since that's what he's known for, the Ivy League kid? But apparently
I mean,
his family has huge ties to Maryland. They sponsor like a swimming club or a swimming club. They sponsor a swimming pool, an overpass. Like I guess they live in Maryland.
they're Maryland's family, a proud Maryland family. What else
Yeah,
can you say, really?
yeah. You best believe they have crabs instead of Thanksgiving turkeys.
Exactly.
As I Google what Maryland's known for, crabs and the state flag.
Every Marylander should be proud of Luigi's Mansion. Okay?
Luigi Mansion. Luigi's Mansion. Wait a minute. You just rebranded him.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion.
He kind of is Luigi's Mansion
Yeah,
because he's rich.
yeah, he's rich. He used instead of the vacuum, he used the gun. So,
Instead of a vacuum, he used a gun. I think my audio is peaking. I gotta move the mic further back. There we go. But
So let's talk about this.
Yeah, do you
Let's
think he
get
did
into
it?
it.
Well, before we get into the speak about assassination and what it means for a country, do you think that he did it?
Well, that's a great question. That's a really interesting question because on one hand, during the beginning of the assassination, we all thought he was this sort of like genius Riddler kind of guy, Joker. Had fucking engravings on the bullets. He had a bag full of Monopoly
Oh,
money.
tell the audience about the
Uh,
engraving on the bullets and what it means.
and I remember one of them said defend, deny, and what was the third one? I forgot.
Depose.
Depose.
Deny, defend, depose.
Well, so deny and defend, if I'm not mistaken, is the title of a book that basically outs insurance companies and how
Actually,
it's in their
all
benefit to
three words is part
claim.
of the book.
Oh, all three words. Okay, sorry. All three words are part of the book. So the guy who killed him obviously had whether it be Luigi's Mansion or somebody else, clearly had a motive of wanting to kill
Probably him.
somebody involved
Probably
with
him.
health insurance. Probably him. We'll just say it's Luigi for now, but we're going to get into that later.
I don't think it's
Then
Luigi
he
at
had
all, but yeah.
really.
I'll tell you why, but continue.
So then, for 3 days after the killing, the police are on a manhunt, searching for this guy who, he was wearing a hoodie. He looked like a character from Watch Dogs. I mean, he just looked like the perfect assassin. But then he does some stupid things, like taking off his mask to allegedly flirt with a cashier. I mean, what was the point then of even wearing a mask if you're not going to dispose of your stuff in an area where, there's no cameras around and not in a public setting? And then, after 3 days, they find him in a McDonald's because some guy pointed him out.
Some woman.
It was a woman or a guy? I think
Okay,
it was a guy.
so I think I have a little bit more information. So I'm going to start off from the top if that's okay with you. So
Go ahead.
deny, defend, depose is actually the motto of the insurance industry.
Really?
Yeah, it's the insurance industry. Think about it: deny claims, defend positions, depose individuals.
Really? Is this the official motto? Or
This is kind of like I don't know if it's the official motto, but I know it's like well understood to be the motto of the insurance industry. I don't know if it's like official or just one that they all say.
right?
Kind of like how Patagonia is the unofficial like uniform of bankers, but it's like it's not like official, but it may as well be.
It's kind of like de facto.
Yeah, but I think that it actually is an actual like motto because like it seems to be like I feel like for insurance and because this is kind of like a little bit more nihilistic. I think it has to be a motto because people wouldn't
Right.
accept that otherwise if it wasn't. But I think it
I
is.
think
Yeah, I think it's a
so.
motto. So another fun fact: after the shooting, um, the amount of merch with the words "deny, defend, oppose" like increased 10,000x. And
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah, Amazon and eBay have been taking them down like crazy because they don't want to sponsor things that are about like
Killing.
yeah. And then the book you were talking about is actually like now the number one bestseller because of that.
That guy's probably so thankful for what Luigi did. He's
just,
getting so much money from
just
the
by the way,
insurance
just to
sale.
let you know, I also made some T-shirts with that slogan, and they have not sold yet because there's so many.
I can imagine. Yeah. I mean, it was
I made like
a good
Supreme. I
cash
made like
grab.
Supreme style clothing that had those words over it.
Oh, I'd buy one. I think I'd buy one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, deny, defend, oppose. It's the insurance company motto, and then a lot of people said that it was. So this is where I kind of differ with a few other people. People were saying where it was professional because when the gun jammed, they immediately like fixed it correctly, and they're like, "Oh, it's got to be professional." I'm like, honestly, anyone who owns their own gun would probably know how to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm jamming on.
And they're like, "Oh, it can't be this college student because they said it was a professional." I'm like, "We don't know. Like, he's a rich kid. Who knows if shooting's not his hobby? He could be a professional."
True. Yeah, he probably went to a range
So
with
here's why I don't
guns.
think it was him. So as you said, like, why would you take off the mask? A lot of people have commented that the idea of a gray mask with a green jacket in New York City is not that unusual. A lot of people wear that. And you said he was caught with his mask flirting with a waitress. A lot of people were saying he was actually just flirting with a waitress in general. He was also dressed like the shooter. And then also like
Interesting.
the shooter is said to be a little. He looked a little taller, but not as broad shouldered. Luigi was a little bit shorter, but more broad shouldered. So they said the build doesn't really match up.
What about what they
Also,
found?
he was found like a day later in a PA with a gun, with a manifesto and all that. Like, no. He's an Ivy League student. If he didn't want to get caught, as he said that he didn't, as he said it's not him, he would have discarded that shit immediately, and he wouldn't have it on him. And also, the McDonald's worker said, "Oh, I recognized him, his face." We didn't really see his face. We saw, and also don't forget the thing about he was flirting with a waitress. That's how he got caught or whatever. That's the image they got. They got that after Luigi was already caught, so they just found footage of him near New York flirting with a waitress.
Right.
Yeah, so
So
he was in New York during that time. He was dressed the same. But his build is different, and it's a green jacket. I own one of those too. So, and then a lot of people on Instagram and TikTok are showing their own Luigi fit, showing like, "Hey, we all own this. This is a very common outfit."
right, right. No, I
It'll
get
be
it.
like wearing a red plaid jacket, Tim's, and then gray sweatpants around the East Coast.
Yeah, that could be like a million people.
That could,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
I know what your point.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he had the manifesto on him. He had the gun on him. People, and then like, oh, they found
Yeah.
his fingerprints on the gun. Like, he was wearing gloves.
Yeah, he was wearing gloves. And you know what I
So
was going to say then?
here's my theory. He did discard
Sure, go
the
ahead.
shooter did discard the gun, and it had fingerprints on it. But it
Interesting.
probably wasn't Luigi's until they gave him the gun.
So are you saying then that someone planted this
I'm
evidence on
saying
him?
that it's not like New York Police Department is unknown for fabricating results when there's a huge investigation. They're like, oh look, we have a suspect. We're questioning them. They like
Right.
found the hijackers' passports or whatever, and then they were investigating their family, but they didn't really. Like, how would you have found their passports? Also,
Yeah.
the New York Police Department found their passports after 9/11. No, they did not. They were busy with way other things. They didn't even know who it was. Like, it's just that the New York Police Department needed a fall guy, and they went with Luigi for some reason.
Well, here's the interesting thing about
I
that.
think.
There's supposedly some ties between Luigi's family and Nancy Pelosi. Have you heard about those?
Of course, they're rich.
Yeah, but I'm not so well versed.
That actually makes me feel like it's less likely to happen because he's rich. He benefits from the status quo.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Nancy.
even if he didn't, his family might try to help him a little bit more cover their tracks. So I don't think it was him. It's just like he's actually too powerful to get caught. So how I don't think it was him. It's just someone
Yeah.
called in the thing, and he just happened to be at the McDonald's, and they didn't know who the kid was. They just know that someone called in the thing, and the New York's like, finally, we have someone who looks like him. We'll use him. And then they said, oh, it's this guy. And then they found out this kid is rich as fuck. They're like, fuck. It's kind of like they picked the worst person. Because I'm not gonna lie, Luigi's kind of dressed kind of bummy.
Yeah, he was dressed bummy, but that was perhaps the
So
sort
they're
of
like,
reason.
oh yeah, he's poor. We'll just pin on this random, like maybe Hispanic, maybe Italian kid. They're like, oh, he's rich, and they're like, well, fuck.
They fucked up.
And then people are saying,
Well,
and then my friend he said something. He said they said, oh, Luigi's acting a little bit erratic. He's like for the camera. They're like, yeah, of course he's acting erratic for the camera. He can't get hired ever again. He's
that's
probably
true.
trying to be the American voice, and then tell the judge, I didn't do it, but I believe that this is a big problem with America, yada yada yada. That way, when he gets out for being innocent, which he probably is, he can start a podcast or he can start a line because he's smart. He knows it does. He may be privileged, but his family apparently is slightly like working class-ish, so he probably does understand. Like, oh, I can't get a job ever again. So he's probably going to be
Well,
like
he's very educated. He's super educated. I don't know if you saw his resume, but he did some crazy
valedictorian.
stuff. Valedictorian 2016. I mean, he's a smart kid.
He was
He's a really
valedictorian
smart,
of a school that feeds into Ivy League school, so he was smart.
smart kid. Yeah. So
So I don't think it was him. And if it was him,
Okay.
If it was him, I mean, are we really okay? Now let's get into the second part where we talk about was this a good thing?
Well, here's the thing. There's two ways of looking at this. There's moral justice in the sense that you could say perhaps the guy he killed was not a good person. Let's just say
He
it
most
that way.
definitely was not. He was the
He
CEO
was
of a
not.
he was the CEO of a health company that denies claims more than any other company.
That means he's a bad person.
He's a
Just
bad
off that
person.
one. But now, by killing this man, you have denied two young children the right to have a father, to be around their father.
Listen, there's plenty of people who don't
So
have father. They turned out better because of it.
perhaps you're right. Perhaps you're absolutely right. But
Humans are very hardy creatures. He just helped them grow. He was a good teacher.
right. Right. Maybe
No, no, no,
he's
no.
like
Okay, so
the
here's
Punisher.
the
He's
Punisher.
like telling them, he's like, "I'll kill you if you ever become a bad person or something."
Yeah. So here's my thoughts. Is there nothing more free market than assassination? It's saying that this
That,
person has done so badly on the open market that they don't deserve to be part of it anymore. Like
hey, it's
instead of
just competition.
it's like, hey, listen, we want another person to be involved in this market, so we're gonna take you away and put money into it. Like this the person who shot him was 100% an assassin. It was not a. I mean, the bullet engraving. I think that was part of the message. Like,
Yeah,
not going to. Whoops, my pop filter fell off. I'm not going to name any industries that or insider secrets that I know, but certain euthanasia specialists can take requests for specific ways that people die. So having the bullets engraved with denied, defend, depose, that might have been sent by a client asking for a specific thing.
interesting. Like a request, you
Yeah,
mean?
it's like saying,
Like,
hey, here's $600,000 to kill this guy. Oh, by the way, can you shoot him with? Can you have these casings fall near him? And don't forget, the gun jammed, and they still found the bullet casing. So
that's true.
I
Yeah,
want you to
you
do the
want to
math.
get a hold
So
of
they had like deep engravings on the bullet, and the gun jammed. Why do you think it jammed? Because the shells were engraved; they were harder to eject. And then he
It's true.
expertly removed it. He knew that they were jammed because they were engraved. Like he didn't do it
True.
because he's a
Yeah.
professional. He knew like, oh, there's probably a good chance the gun's gonna jam with this. I'm gonna be ready for it. Shot, oop, jammed, fixed it, and then it went back. Also, he
Probably
probably
knows.
if you notice, he shot him in the front, not the back. But you notice something interesting about this? Which where was the wall that the CEO was walking? To his left.
The
And the
his
shooter was
left.
on his left as well. And most guns are right-handed guns, and they eject cartridges to the right. Now, if he shot him from behind, which would have worked way better, by the way, where would the casings have ejected? The
On the
street,
left, which was on the
the right.
yeah
If he
from
was
the
from behind,
back.
if he shot him from
Right.
the behind, the bullets would eject to the right, or the casing would eject to the right onto the street, where it's more likely to get lost. But by facing him from the
Right. Right.
front, they hit the wall, being near the guy.
Oh, that's
Gary,
true.
and
Huh.
also he shot three, and then walked away. And then the slogan had three. The guy purposely shot the exact amount of bullets that he needed,
Okay.
and then
Then
walked
explain the
away.
monopoly.
That was
What about the monopoly?
that was an assassin. It had to be an assassin. It was just too professional of a job.
Right. It does. Yeah. Either that. Yeah. I agree.
And I think,
There's
okay,
something.
I don't think that assassination is good for America, but I do believe that if the free market allowed this to happen, you know how they say nature is healing itself? The
You
market
think
is
this is a
healing
case of
itself.
Mother Nature?
Technically, assassination is a very capitalist thing. It's saying, hey, there is something that we need to remove, and here's the capital to do so.
I guess so.
And
Yeah.
then don't forget,
Yeah.
the capital needed to exterminate someone like that is lower. It was high enough to beat the capital needed to protect that person. Also, we got to figure out how to invest in personal security companies after this.
I can imagine. Yeah. A
Yeah, they're
lot of
taking
these people have
CEOs'
to
names
look
off
like
of like
that.
public documents and stuff in other industries.
Oh, wait, really? Is this true?
Yeah,
Is this being done after the shooting?
yeah, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, that
So,
makes sense.
see,
People
there are
don't really
some
want to die.
reverberations. Yeah, it makes sense, but there are some reverberations. I mean, here's the thing. What is the threshold of change that, like, for example, let's say tomorrow, let's just say tomorrow, another healthcare CEO is shot, like just tomorrow. And then maybe a week later, another one is shot and killed. So 3 days, essentially. Will that, in your opinion, enact change? Do you think
It would have to
they'll
because
actually be,
I'm going to say something a little,
yeah,
little unpopular to people who are defending the idea that assassination shouldn't happen. In the insurance industry, yeah, you could change industry, but if the entire industry is like this and it doesn't change, this would kind of incentivize people. Think about how many there's not a lot of police officers. There won't
right,
be a lot of people working in insurance if they did that. And they're like, "Oh, we need people for insurance." Like, well, we can't just like I offer them more money because they already are making a shit ton of money. We just don't have any more. We can't deny more claims because it would increase their ability to die. It's the only situation where the only way to prevent this from happening is to do what they're asking to do. Because also, it's like it's not giving it to terrorists because it's not a specific threat.
right,
It's just a very implicit threat. It's like, hey, I
right.
see you're denying a lot of claims there. It'd be a shame if you got a shame if you got a 42 in the back.
It's a shame if you killed yourself with two shotgun blasts to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it kind of that's why I say it's
That's
very capitalism because it's not it's not even a direct like contract. It's okay. It's kind of market forces because it's like the psychology of money, which, as you know, is the hardest thing to control in capitalism.
true. Yeah. We don't even really know how the market works.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
apart from insurance, what do you think is the next industry to get assassinated, or like for an assassin to be like, you know what, it's my turn to shine?
Well,
It has to be one where there's a great deal of harm being done. It has to be one where the amount of money spent gets people very rich. It's a protected industry, and it's one where people can't really opt out of. So it wouldn't be like iPhone because you could just not buy an iPhone,
oh, I know.
but you
The anime
can't not have
industry.
insurance.
The anime industry.
The what?
Anime industry. Anime.
Okay, what the fuck? No, what? Why? And who would they kill anyway?
First of all, it's an industry where the executives are getting super rich. People are being worked to death.
Oh, you mean
They're
in Japan?
losing their
You mean
health.
in Japan?
Yeah,
I'm
obviously.
talking about the
Well,
United. I'm talking about the United States. So that's why. That's actually why.
oh,
That's why
okay.
I took Nestle out of it because they only really hurt third world countries.
They do hurt a lot of third world countries. Um, I'm trying to think. Would be an industry where assassinations would be likely to happen inside? In the U.S. So,
I
apart from
I think it'd
healthcare,
be like real estate developers or something like a big real estate company. It's like, hey, we don't have homes. These are or, like especially gentrifying in some neighborhoods
right?
because
What about
we all need a home.
the banking industry?
Ooh, being denied a loan, but there's too many banks. That's the problem.
True. What's that?
But I do think
True, but
no, I think the banking industry is a good one. That's a good one, actually. You're right. You're right. It would be the banking industry.
banking, finance, I mean, these are all industries where people's livelihoods are deeply tied to them. So I could definitely see someone getting capped for like, I don't know, denying loan forgiveness or some like form of loan forgiveness. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't know, but I could see an assassination or two occurring in that industry. Um, but you said something earlier, though. You did say something earlier. You said that the gun was, if it isn't Luigi, how did they find him? I mean, you said the NYPD planted this on him, and you did say that they found that probably he was originally. But what I'm so curious about is the fact that I don't know. I don't really buy the whole thing with the guy identifying him in the McDonald's. It just doesn't sit with me right. Why would you call the police and identify someone if you're not 100% sure that
Because there
that's
was
the person?
reward money.
Well, here's the thing. I heard he's not even going to get the
They didn't
reward
get
money.
the
He
reward
just
money.
did not.
So they didn't get the reward money because they called the police instead of the tip hotline. And the police
Uh,
jumped on that. And they're like, and the tip hotline probably like, okay, we know it's not actually him, so we can't give you the money for that.
true.
That's why you send
So,
it to the tip hotline so they can investigate the person, and then they get arrested. But then the PA
I
police would
see.
probably like get this guy, but then they're like, oh shit, it's the wrong guy, and they can't like let him go
I see.
because
So
I
you're
mean
telling me
that's the point of a tip hotline, so they can get investigated first before they get arrested.
Oh, I see. So it would have probably been better if that guy called the tip hotline then on this guy.
Well, yeah. Plus, they would have gotten actually like pay. Well, they wouldn't have because it wasn't him.
Yeah,
They would have like said, "Oh, this kid. Let's Google him first. Net worth in the millions. All right, cool. So we're not getting this kid, even if it is him."
I heard somebody say so. If you search into his like backstory, you know that he was actually like living in Hawaii, and then he even traveled to like Asia. He went to India, Japan, Indonesia, all these countries.
Yeah, he's a little too.
And when he was
He's a
in,
little too cultured to really kill a CEO.
yeah, he would have probably experienced the world and
Or
maybe
or or
understand.
or he went to other countries. Like, wow, look at how the good assassination did.
Or maybe he went to these countries and said, "Wow, all of them have free healthcare. We don't." And maybe that black told him more.
Yeah, I
Who
saw a lot of
knows?
false information online that his mom was like sick and whatever. Like, no, his parents are completely fine. He had literally no reason to do this.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Um, I don't know. Could be a crusader. One of those like ideologue crusaders who, even if they're not personally affected, they want to fight for like other people. AKA Karl Marx, who, he was an aristocrat. He was just well, not aristocrat, but a rich guy. But, he invented Marxism. So it could be just one of those guys.
this guy
But I
invents.
also,
This guy invented Luigi-ism.
Luigi-ism. I like how when people found out his name, they're like,
Hey yo, where's
wow,
Mario?
okay, now let's get to the real questions. Why do women like killers?
That's all the time we have for today. As the bathroom goes on his crusade against women again.
Which we will when we talk about the Korean episode, which will be a banger.
But I think
Um,
it's. I mean, come on. If Luigi was, Luigia, bro, the exact same thing would have happened. Hey, yo, she innocent for real, for real. Hey, why you catching my wife like that? They're like, damn, she can shoot and she hates rich people. I'm gonna wife her up real quick.
you're right. You're right. No, you're actually low-key right.
This is the
Yeah,
most.
I
This is the
do.
most like gender. This is the most gender fair situation ever. Like this is 100% what happened both ways. Because also he's a good looking dude. That would happen. That happened with women
Yeah.
too. There's a girl called La Llorona, who in Mexico, who's like a Mexican hit woman. She's like 24, and everyone's just like, yo, she can hit me all she wants.
I guess you're right. No, maybe at the end of the day, humans are weird.
Maybe at the end
We
of the
just
day,
like
killers
attract.
are sexy. That's why book talk is a thing. Anyway, thanks for listening to this week's episode. Make sure to wash your hands, flush, wipe, and put that bullet casing down.
And this has been in the bathroom. And Luigi, we both support you.
Hey, I'm the real
Hey,
killer. I'm the real killer. Anyway, I mean, I didn't say that. Goodbye. Good night.
good night.
Peace.
Peace.